Hi, good morning. If you're watching this video, you're probably already a partner of Zebra's, and maybe even more specifically, a partner of mine. Earlier this week, I was able to sit down with Michelle Kabele and ask her a bunch of different questions on best practices in partner rep marketing. And when I say partner rep marketing, I'm talking about actually these salespeople out in the field and some best practices for them to help get in earlier with buyers and become more top of mind with some of the buyers or some of their customers. A lot of you may already be familiar with Michelle because she's presented pretty regularly at various partner events that I've had in the territory over the past few years. Her presentations are consistently the presentations that are asked for the most because they resonate with people in the room. I put together videos like this on a fairly regular basis. If you think this kind of content is helpful and informative, please click the subscribe button. And now on to my discussion with Michelle. So Michelle, we were talking about LinkedIn, using LinkedIn as maybe in this case for the people that are watching, maybe their primary source, they're already on LinkedIn,
Right.
but they may not be using it to the extent maybe that they could be using it. They may be doing it for a little bit for research, like who's the CIO at company XYZ,
Sure.
those kinds of things.
Right.
But are there ways that they can use it to kind of help get their message out or have them be perceived as maybe a thought leader that would entice or basically kind of lend some credibility to when they're trying to connect with that CIO or that VP of this or primary the buyer that they're looking to target.
Right. Well, I think the great thing about LinkedIn is you have to keep in mind it's essentially a digital email box. I mean, to a large extent, right? So if you think about, hey, I saw this great article, like let's say I found a great article from you. You send over a great thought leadership article on some new trend.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what I can do is I can take that article, I can forward it and put my comments on it. It does show up in the timeline of the different articles, but what's more important is that it goes in the digest that goes to my entire database. So there you're going to see your thought leadership article with my comments. The other thing I can do with that article is if there are specific people in my network, let's say for example I just had a conversation with these 5 sellers and we were talking about the topic you were highlighted in your article. I can actually forward your article to those 5 people with my comments. Great to see you today. This is a very relevant topic based on what we were speaking about. And then a follow-up action that I'd like to take with them. Hey, let's set up a follow-up meeting with Mark to do further deep dive on blah, 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 or get you a product demo. What you're really trying to do with these thought leadership articles not only is stay in front of the people that are in your Rolodex, but to influence the people they're connected to. So we often see like 1 or 2 or 3 circles of where we're not connected. And essentially what happens here is we're able to reach those other circles based on the things that we forward out to our network, because they then could be forwarding it on to other people, or more importantly, their other people are seeing our name in front of their Rolodex. So if they're connected to the person you want to speak with, that's a great way to start building that mind share about you and your company and the things that you offer by simply forwarding content that's already on the timeline. And so it's another way to utilize that same thing.
So basically, if a reseller sales rep out there, he's saying, okay, I'm going to start blogging, I'm going to share this information on my own. That's great.
Right.
But even if they're not to that point yet, they don't feel like they have the time, or maybe they don't have the ability to kind of wordsmith, put a whole blog together. They can actually take someone else's article, add some sort of commentary to it potentially, and share that. You're not plagiarizing, you're not stealing someone else's
That's right.
someone else's content. You're forwarding someone else's content with your thought leading ideas kind of wrapped around it, kind of packaged around it. So that'd be a good idea. I think a good way to get in front of other people and kind of start to build that rapport with some of these end user contacts you might be trying to reach out to.
And it's a great way to look at as a connector or someone of
Connector,
influence,
yes. Okay.
right?
Yep.
Because you're connecting content that they may be looking for to your database or vice versa. And so it's a great way to do that without having to go through, as you mentioned, a lot of time potentially creating your own blogs. A lot of people are busy today, but there's a lot of content out there that you can use for the same purpose.
That's perfect. Great information, Michelle. Thanks.
Yep. Thanks, Mark.